This week in Siege, Supr puts out an ominous tweet. Rogue, wait, this script can't be right. Rogue wins? And NIP loses? Though I guess that's not a surprise this stage, is it? Hey everybody, it's me, SiegeGG, and welcome to another exciting episode of Debrief for Week 3. Starting off with the NAL, though the action was top-notch all day, the first game gave us the biggest result. Canadians Dark Zero was going head-to-head with Supr's Soniqs, and boy was Canadian hyped when DZ went up 3-0. But after a timeout, there was no looking back for the Soniqs, who only dropped one round. Round 10 just showed how badly Soniqs wanted it, as not only did Supr get his first kill, Kansan kept the momentum going.
House plant. This almost seems certain to go in favor of DZ, unless Kansan can pull off a miracle. Losing some of this ammunition, trying to find if there's a foothold over towards bar. There's a tight angle being held, and he'll walk across. Nice shot from Kansan, and 2 beautiful kills!
It went 5 in a row to the Soniqs, who took a very important 7-4 win to go second in the standings, even with an ominous post-game tweet from Supr. Over in Europe, the Supr week kicked off with an incredible French derby between BDS and Heroic. Heroic, in fact, started off well, but struggled to do better than a 3-3 in the first half. Thunder, well, brought the thunder right after the side swap.
Voy manages to get aggressive and get himself onto elbow here. I think they are aware, but in come the kills. It's a big triple from Thunder, and that is Thunder lightning the whole 9 yards from the man as he comes in with a 4th on the pistol.
But even though Heroic imagined to get match point first, BDS pulled out an amazing 3v5 clutch to force OT. Heroic got to match point first in OT2, but again, couldn't hang on, and BDS survived an 8-7 scare. On the second EU playday, the best action and perhaps the most surprising result was perhaps in the 4th match. Relegation-threatened Rogue took on Na'Vi, who had topped Stage 1 and had been 3rd in Stage 2. But Aces was the one who shut the analyst desk up in the first round, barging through to get a quad kill. Rogue was absolutely turning back the years, going an incredible 5-1 in the Villa attack, but Doki gave some credibility to the analysts, kick-starting a comeback with a 1v3 right afterwards. Na'Vi would not get nearly close enough, as Aces and Prano combined incredibly to give their team a 7-5 win. Moving across the sea to Brazil, the MIBR versus Team 1 match was one to watch, certainly. The MIBR players were up against their old org, who had sold them and replaced them with a major winning roster. But there was hardly anything that could separate the two, even after the game was put on hold for over an hour and another was played in the meantime. The players on both teams were extremely evenly matched, almost down to each kill, and it was hardly surprising things went to OT. But the best play was saved for the end with Levy, breaking out a quad kill to take the game 8-7. The next day, we were treated to one of the classic big boy rivalries, FaZe versus NIP. The world champions had seemingly found form again, having won their past 2 games after losing 3 in a row. But even starting off on the defense didn't prove to work for NIP, who had to rely on Pino to get a 1v2 to not slide to a 5-1 deficit. But just as NIP tried to claw back ground with a strong attacking win of their own, they found themselves staring down at 3 match points. There wasn't much resistance after that, and FaZe instead continued their march at the top with a 7-4 win.
Psycho can get all the way up, which it looks like he has been able to do. Could be a little bit of a problem. Refire shots going down eventually. He's likely going to pick up the last one here as well. Muzi, GG, unfortunate situation.
Switching gears to the Far East, we had an absolute barn burner and not in the game anyone would have expected. Veteran Japanese team FAV took on the hodgepodge team of Koreans on T1, who only had 3 points from 16 games this year. While FAV took the first round, PJH, the player coach turned caster turned player, retorted with this 3K clutch.
It's 2 versus 1 now. They've got the advantage. It's going to come down to PJH glitch. He's on his sidearm and he manages to find one, but location is known now. He hasn't taken that fight with the Bosch GA-Cog, has he? Switches over and gets the second. Unbelievable plays.
T1 went into the second half on level terms, and one round after a swift sight smash and grab were on match point. But just like Heroic against BDS, T1 could not stave off overtime. Just like Heroic 2, T1 took match point first, but it was FAV, like BDS, that came storming back to take an 8-7 victory. Down south, the Singaporeans of Invictus Gaming put on yet another show for us, this time against Order. Both teams were neck and neck throughout, and only a speakeasy 3K and 1v1 helped IG go 3-3 on Cafe defense. But a brilliant 2v5 from Nate and Specca meant that Order would stay in the running and force OT.
Specca trying to support as Invictus send it deep. Speakeasy caught in the cross. Specca, oh my word! The kill feed lights up. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Nate behind the chassis swings wide and wins the round for Order. I don't know how they've brought that back, but they've managed to do it.
But Nate's heroics were stopped by Joe, who prevented the Aussie from getting a 1v3 and got a 1v1 himself to win the game for IG. Catching a plane in Mexico though, and Etheris had cockily tweeted about Met's lack of victories against them, but had perhaps forgotten to tell their players to back up their trash talk. Met swept to a 4-2 lead on Coastline Attack, not all too surprising, but also managed to keep up the pace in the second half. The Mexicans swept to match point early at 6-3 and held off the charge by the majority Brazilian Etheris with a nail-biting disable to win the match 7-5.
¡Hace el desplante! Y se termina y mira cómo gritan, nadie se la cree, yo no me la creo, mucha gente no se la cree, claro que sí, grítenlo, grítenlo, grítenlo.
Right after though, we were given the shocking news that 3 overnight players had tested positive for COVID-19. As a result, the second playdate was moved online. Thankfully, the players are asymptomatic for now and are feeling good enough to see out the stage. The best game on this online day was unquestionably the first one, as Chivas had come to play against a 6 Karma that was 15 points ahead. Chivas got 3 rounds for the first time this stage, but they were on a clubhouse defense, where you won at least 4. But the bottom place team guaranteed itself its first point this stage after securing match point first, but 6 Karma was still the better team and managed to claw it back despite going to max OT and won it out 8-7. Meanwhile, in South America, 9Z team was given quite a scare on the first play day, despite going up against 6th place Coscu Gaming. 9Z found itself up 4-0 on Chalet, attack, and well in control before 2 hard-fought rounds from Coscu gave their opposition some breathing room. Multi-kills from Zeta and Atlas made it 6-2, but Coscu wasn't done yet. It piled on 3 rounds in a row, 2 being 1v1s, and suddenly threatened OT. But 9Z were the leaders for a reason and survived the scare to take a 7-5 win. The next day, Malvinas made the biggest challenge against 9Z for the lead yet and nearly took it outright. The match started off explosively as Zeta got a 4K and 1v1.
Esa es cobertura que va a caer por parte de Zeta. Zeta que elimina a Tom. Va a buscar otra Zeta con el triple. 9Z, la violeta que depende de él. Va a encontrarlo. Zeta con el 4.
The multi-kills and clutches kept coming, but neither team was able to shake the other, and soon we were at round 15. We nearly saw another clutch then, a 1v3 for Denaic, but Franzetta shut it down to help Malvinas draw within 1 point of 9Z in first place. Well, that is all for this week, folks. With the regional competitions back worldwide, be sure to hit up the competitions pages on SiegeGG to see who is topping those leaderboards. And do not forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube and follow us on Twitter for all sorts of fantastic content. Make sure to follow me on social media as well at Jackie Jing. Before we go, let us know in the comments how you think the rest of Stage 3 is going to go, and be sure to join in the predictions on SiegeGG. Bye, Siege fam!